What if I told you that a book could stop a bullet? What if a story could change a boy's entire life? Reading is not just education, it's protection. Today I'm going to show you how reading, something as simple as opening a book, can literally save the boy from the streets. I've been mentoring nearly 40 years, and I've seen the difference between boys who read and boys who's left to the streets. There is a major difference. My name is Dr. Calvin Mann, and I am known as the National Encourager. Reading builds focus, discipline, imagination. Three things that every street tries to destroy. When boys don't read, they're more likely to follow the first loud voice they hear, usually the wrong one. Boys create boundaries in their mind, showing right from wrong, purpose from pressure. When a boy reads, he learns to think before he reacts. He starts making choices, no excuses. And students who read 20 minutes a day score in the 90th percentile on tests. Those who don't read score in the bottom 10%. Offer stories too. On every corner tells a story, but not one that necessarily ends well. The street teach: be hard, fast, don't trust, don't care. Those are lessons of survival, not lessons for success. Our boys are learning, just not from books, they're learning from pain. When a boy's role models are rappers and hustlers instead of readers and builders, his future may just get hijacked. Reading builds power, knowledge, access, and even more. Books show a boy that there's more to life than the block, his trauma, and his zip code. Stats show boys who read proficiently by third grade are 4 times more likely to graduate high school. A boy who couldn't sit still but changed after reading a story about a hero who looked like him. This is the many stories, I was one of them, that I had to learn from the adults in my life. Reading gives boys role models that they can meet every day inside the pages, not just prisons. If your son can read, he can go very, very far. I say this, when we came up with Reading is Life, it was important just the title alone, but then we got the outcomes. And the outcomes is where the victory was at. When a boy can read, he can fill out a job application, understand a contract, or read his rights. When he can't, he's vulnerable to manipulation, street traps, or the system. Illiteracy is one of the quietest roots of violence, addiction, and incarceration. Tie it back to Reading is Life. That's why we start early, ages 3 to 7, before the world teaches them they can't. I literally experimented with my own son. And it was his cousin who, when I said I'm going to teach him to read by 4, he said, "You're not going to be able to teach him nothing." And I laughed. This was in July. Come Christmas that same year, I called my son into the living room and I told him to pick up any book and read it. And he grabbed the book and he read it at 4. And everybody was shocked. I wasn't. I know the power of words, and I know why when it's fathers teaching the boy and showing the boy, we get better results. Reading isn't just schoolwork, it's family work. Fathers reading to their sons boosts comprehension, bonding and behavior. Comprehension, bonding, and behavior. When a boy sees his dad or mentor reads, he sees the reading, he sees it, that this reading is a strength. Every night you read to your son, you're putting armor on his mind. So important. And we talk about these things and we see these things in communities and the lack thereof. And you find homelessness, you find fatherlessness, you find high crime. All of these things stem from literacy being poor. Now, make reading the culture in your home. And I'm going to give you this challenge, as we gave a challenge yesterday. This is a big one. Every boy is one book away from finding his purpose. I'm going to repeat. Every boy is one book away from finding his purpose. Many of you parents are always looking for mentors and things like that. Start with the books. That's a great place to find one. So I'm challenging you, boys and parents, to read 15 minutes a day. In our program, we request an hour. Choose books by authors who look like you and who speak your truth. Talk about what you read, share it, teach it, live it. Call to action. The next time you see a boy on the block, hand him a book, not a warning. It's funny how I often say the quickest way to grow healthy boys and men is to make sure that they have a library in the home. Reading, it's not just about words, it's about life. Reading builds better men, stronger families, better husbands, and safer streets. For a lot of us, the system didn't work. But for a lot of us, we didn't get access to that species, that person, that mentor, that model, and followed and watched them. The reason why I've been in this work for over 40 years is because I wanted them to see some type of consistent example, and that's what we did. That's what I continue to do. If you can like, share, and subscribe right here at METV, and you go through these videos, you will see a lot of the work that I'm talking about occurred. I'm Dr. Calvin T. Mann, better known as the National Encourager, reminding you that every page turned is a life transformed. Remember, reading is life. Peace.